country's largest battery energy storage sites is about to be built on Staten Island. It's part of New York's push for renewable energy, but families tell us by the time they learned about this plan, it was already a done deal. Investigator Masa Saidi looks into the potential risks of these sites and the state's response to previous incidents.
They keep putting them in residential areas. Don't you care about the citizens?
New York State approved a plan to convert this land into one of the nation's largest battery energy storage systems. The governor wants New York to get the majority of its energy from clean sources like solar by 2030. But since the sun isn't always shining, so-called best sites are critical for capturing surplus energy during the day and discharging it to the grid at night. Though vacant, this stretch along Victory Boulevard on Staten Island is near homes. The developer, Chicago-based Hecate, says its facility will store enough energy to help the governor meet 10% of her overall storage goal by powering every single home in the borough.
It really has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the opportunity to buy electric cheap and sell it at a higher price.
We showed up to interview one or two homeowners.
Who has strong feelings about what's happening?
A roomful was waiting. Families understand the need for big batteries, but claim the state didn't give proper notice or make the process transparent.
There are some pros to having these buildings, but there's a lot of downside. I think the main concern was the complete lack of communication.
And if there was a fire, God forbid, who evacuates us? Where do we go?
There are two types of lithium-ion battery sites, those that are on fire and those that are not on fire yet.
The community more anxious after a massive fire at a battery storage plant not operated by Hecate in Moss Landing, California.
One of the largest lithium battery plants in the world continues to burn this afternoon.
4 months later, the cause is still under investigation. The site was the largest of its kind with a capacity of 750 megawatts, only moderately larger than Hecate's proposed 650 megawatts. Hecate, which has projects nationwide, says, quote, "We have operated since 2019 without a single fire or safety incident and are proactively meeting with elected officials, local residents." Here's State Assemblyman Sam Pirozzolo.
They're not responding to any of my emails, any of my phone calls.
Nobody seems to want to come out and educate us as to what's going on.
The Department of Public Service says last year the state held a public meeting online. This notice sent to elected leaders, community groups, and the media. But some homeowners directly impacted claim they missed the meeting. No notice in their mailbox. We asked DPS if the state would consider a second meeting. The agency wouldn't answer.
Fight! Fight!
We've seen similar concerns in other neighborhoods, including Brooklyn and Long Island. We took everyone's complaints to Governor Hochul.
Governor, New Yorkers say they're not getting any notice before battery energy storage sites pop up in their neighborhood. What are their rights, Governor?
But in a webinar we found online that just happened 2 weeks ago, the state is talking.
We are in close communication with California regarding their incident.
After a series of fires at best sites in New York, again not operated by Hecate, in Jefferson, Orange, and Suffolk counties in 2023, the governor took immediate action. To enhance safety, she convened the Interagency Fire Safety Working Group.
I wanted to explain to everybody who has concerns that we are taking this very seriously.
11 recommendations are set to go into effect by 2026, including requiring site-specific training for local fire departments. Meantime, Pirozzolo says he's introducing a bill to require sites are built 1,000 feet away from homes. He says right now, they can go anywhere.
There is no protection for us. There's no protection for our people, no protection for the land.
So we called Hecate about the assemblyman's claims that the company is not responding to him. I got an email from the company saying right now they're conducting studies to inform the future of the project, and as it develops, they'll engage with all stakeholders. But KJ, the assemblyman, a Republican, teamed up with the Democrat on that bill that's going to create space between these systems and homes. We'll see what happens with that.
And what more is the company shedding light on as far as the safety goes at this site?
They say there's going to be staff there 24/7. They're going to be working with the FDNY from the very first day. And they also say that each battery is going to have a fire suppression system in it. So they think that that's not going to happen at one of their sites.
Okay, Masa, thank you. And if you have a story that you'd like Masa and our investigative team to dig into, scan the QR code there on their screen. You could see your story on our air.